Today I'm going to be reviewing the MBS mountain board. It is the Atom 95X and it is their lower end starter board for adults or older teens. We are going to start off with the tire itself. We are going to review the hubs, tire, treading, and bearings. The tires are made of nylon plastic or rubber and have diamond-shaped treadings. The treadings are good for paved road and dirt roads as well as rocky terrain. The tires have a air valve similar to a bike. This will allow you to use a bike pump to air up the tires. The max pressure PSI on the tires is 35, although the manual suggests 15. The lower the pressure, I believe, the less roll it'll have. The higher the pressure, the more it'll roll. This needs to be taken into consideration while you're choosing your hills to ride down. The more steep, the less PSI. The less steep, the more PSI. This will ensure a better riding experience and rolling experience overall. The hubs are made of plastic, not as durable as metal, but not as heavy. They are strong enough to support my weight, 150, and would probably support more. They are strong and sturdy but kinda soft and would scratch easy along rocks. The bearings are unknown to me. They are not ABEX 6 or ABEX 7. They're most likely a generic type, although they roll pretty well. The problem with most skate bearings is that if dirt or mud gets inside of them, they tend to rust or slow down. The same might apply to these as well, but I am unsure. And this concludes the wheel. Like I said, durable, strong, and light, and they get the job done. Another beautiful and important aspect of the Atom 95X is the brake. It is a very important component and will slow you down on hills. Some MBS mountain board riders will say that the brakes are useless and to take them off, but as a beginner I prefer them on and I suggest you leave them on. If they were completely useless, they wouldn't have added them. The brakes are styled just like bike brakes, the brake system. This means they use a disc brake and a brake pad just like a bike would. Brake components are a combination between disc brakes and V-brake system. It has a disc, just like disc brakes, but it has a V system, just like a bike would. This means that the parts are easy to find and easy to replace. You can go down to any store such as Walmart and buy the parts. This is an important aspect of the board because all parts are easy to find and replace. It won't be a hassle to find. The reason I mentioned going to Walmart and replacing the brakes is because the brake pads connect to the disc to stop the board. This means that the plastic rubber will eventually wear down and will cause you to go to Walmart and purchase new ones. This is normal wear and tear and won't happen real quick, more likely over time. Another aspect of the brake system is this, I guess what you could call a strap right here that connects to the board. This will allow you to pick up the board using the brake handle without destroying the brakes. It works very well. The way it works is that the strap is shorter than the brake cable, but is connected to the brake cable. This means when I pick up the board using the strap and the brake handle, the brakes are not applied, pulled, or destroyed in any way. This is useful for carrying the board uphill using the brake handle, and is a very nice little addition to the board. Earlier today, before making this product review, I did test the board on a very bumpy, rocky terrain, steep hills and minorly steep hills. This was to check and test the brake system to test how well they stopped the board. They did lock the tires, but that did not help. The boards continued to slide down the mountain. Although the brakes aren't as helpful in stopping, they are helpful in controlling speed. This is important while going down mountains, especially for a beginner. The brakes overall are well built, strong, and will help you out in the end. This concludes the brake system for the MBS Atom 95X. We have went over the tires and the brake system of the Atom 95X. It is now time to go over something that's, I guess, forgotten when it comes to mountain boards, and if you're new to mountain boarding, I think these are very important and need to be explained. Bindings for mountain boards work the same way as the bindings of a snowboard. They are meant to strap you into the mountain board and keep you nicely secured. This helps with turning and controlling the board. The bindings that come with the Atom 95X are called F1 bindings. They use a Velcro system to strap you in. This allows you to set the bindings to any size of shoe. Once you set the bindings to any shoe, you are able to slip them out and slip them back in. The bindings include minor padding for the top of your shoe and the side of your shoe. This helps with comfort as well as the tightness around your shoe. The quality of the F1 bindings are pretty darn good. They are bolted to the board using two bolts on each side of the bindings. This means that the bindings are removable and are replaceable. Also, just a side note, I did remove my bindings to free ride my board on the street, just like any other board. It worked fairly well, but the brakes did get in the way of that. Underneath the bindings are grip tape, which I will go over later on, as they are somewhat of a different product than the bindings themselves, although they do go in hand. Another side note, on the mountain while I was riding, I did wipe out. In some cases where I would not have wiped out. Going down a steep hill and bumping into the ground at a high speed will throw you forward off your board. In any other case, you could just jump off your board and land on your feet completely perfect. However, I was completely strapped in tight as I can be, and I went down with the board. I was unable to move my feet to gain my balance, and I fell down. Not a big deal, but just throwing that out there. The bindings did keep me on the board on rocky terrain and helped me out with turning. Just not so good when you need to bell. Just keep that in mind. Belling, bindings, they don't mix together. Always keep your bindings loosely fit, just good enough to keep you on the board but not totally stuck to it. This will allow you to remove your feet at any given time and gain balance, or push towards an object or away from it. This concludes the bindings. Overall, good quality, but like I said, not their best. They'll do their job, but they'll also get in the way. I recommend take them off if you're just going to do cruising, although the board is not meant for that itself. Another small but semi-important feature of the Atom 95X is the grip tape. It is pretty thick and pretty high quality, and I do not foresee it wearing down anytime soon. However, I am unsure as I have only had my board a couple of days. Another important feature on any board, such as a skateboard, longboard, or even a mountain board, is the truck. The truck is what allows the board to turn. Having a weak truck might mean the truck will bend on you while jumping, or a tight truck might mean poor control quality or turning quality. The truck allows the board to turn, and it is important to have a good quality truck to improve turning, which on a mountain might be very important. The trucks that come with the Atom 95X are pretty well built. The metal is somewhat soft and scratches easy, but that's okay. It supports my weight, and that's what matters. The bushings that come with the trucks are orange. They are called orange bushings. These are what allow you to turn the board without grinding the metal. It is also important for absorbing some type of shock, so they do act as the suspension. Other boards do include eggshell suspension and spring suspension, but not the Atom 95. It only includes the orange bushings. All the pieces on the truck are pretty well built. There are bolts, your standard washers, and they're connected just like a regular skate truck with the 4 little screws and bolts. We are on our final part of the MBS Atom 95X mountain board review, and it is time to review the board, or in any case, the deck. The deck is pretty stiff, and that's important to know because this decreases the handling, but it works in most cases. The board does support my weight, which once again is 150, and I read reviews saying it'll support up to 240. I am not sure of this as I have not tested it, but I will do this weekend, and I will post an update on that. The board does come with the graphical design. I'm not sure if you can get it in a different color or a different graphical design. All I know is that it came like this. And from Amazon, the board, there is no way to change the graphical design. It comes the way it was built. You can see the layers of the mountain board right now as I am showing them to you. You can count the layers because I'm unsure how many layers it has. I haven't gone over that myself. I just know it's pretty thick and pretty stiff. It is important to know that the graphical design scratches off fairly easy. It'll come off with a scuff of a foot or the scrape of a tool. In most cases that doesn't happen, but it's really easy to scratch the graphical design off this mountain board. MBS Atom 95X mountain board review. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you're watching this off of Amazon, good luck on your purchase. By the way, at the time of the making of this review, the mountain board is currently selling for $148 off of Amazon.com.